Got it. Setting up. Okay. And we should be live. So the live also is a few seconds late, so just be ready. So hello everyone, my name is Audrey Hamilton. I am the entrepreneurial assistant and I am the owner of this group. Gotta pause this. Okay, first time with a meeting with someone. So I am the owner of the group Entrepreneurs Community. Tonight we have a Q&A with Angel Conway. Angel, you want to start talking and telling everyone about yourself?
Yes, thank you so much, Audrey. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you so much. Hello, everyone. I am Angel Conway, your favorite faith-based self-care consultant. I am a boy mom. I have 3 sons, Angelo, Patrick Jr., and Malachi. They're all under 9 years old. So my hands are tied. I am a busy mama.
No.
Yes. I work for 2 home care agencies, and I am an entrepreneur at heart, and I just have a heart to serve and to be the change I want to see to make a difference in the world.
That's really, really good. I absolutely love what you do. So would you like to tell a little bit more about your business? Like you talk about self-care, what is it you do exactly to help with the self-care?
Yeah, so my business is called Because I Care Too, and it was actually born out of me being a caregiver. And so initially it started out with helping and being a support system for other professional caregivers. But then it turned into specifically catering to the mama caregivers. And so in my journey of becoming fully into my purpose of caregiving, first being my own caregiver, I developed a passion because I developed a passion for other moms like myself, because I know that we are in dire need of some self-love, some self-care. And so I am now serving other women and moms in my support group on Facebook, Self-Care Club for Working Women of Faith. And I am just giving tons of encouragement, motivation, inspiration, prayer, of course, self-care tips, and really helping us to understand that, we deserve to take care of us. And not only that, it's a must and it's needed, because again, we are a person who just as much others need our help, we need help. And so, we need to be able to take care of ourselves, to show up and to live this life, right? And to not only live, but to thrive and to enjoy life, and not have the things that we do be burdensome. That's not how it should be. It should be something that we enjoy, because everything that we have been given is a gift from God.
Yes. You want to introduce your 2 little kiddos there with you?
Oh, sure. You want?
They're so sweet. They look sweet.
I can't right now. I'm on a live call, but I can afterwards, okay? Go in the room with your brothers, please. Angelo, take Malachi in the room. They
It's all right. This is what my son was doing to me the other day.
I'm telling you, So okay. No, go in the room with your brothers and watch your brother Angelo and put on something for everyone to watch, okay? Okay, put on something for everyone to watch. Thank you. Okay. A little later. Okay. I need you to do what I just told you to do. Thank you. Yes, it never stops.
No, I totally get it. With a 2-year-old and an 8-month-old girl, they both tag team. And you got 3 boys.
Tag team, right?
How old? Yep. How old are they again?
So Angelo is 8, Patrick Jr. is 6, and Malachi is 4.
Yeah, there's a good variety there. That's a good age though, I feel. They all kind of keep each other entertained, or do
Oh,
they
yeah.
argue a lot?
Both.
Or both.
That's how they entertain each other.
There you go. Yep. And that's boys. They're crazy. It is fun though. We wouldn't have it any other way, I feel, but they are crazy, and self-care is so important for us because of that. So yeah. What would you find is the largest reason why we don't take care of ourselves, especially us as moms and entrepreneurs? Why don't we take as much time for ourselves?
That is a really great question. And what I have found out is because it wasn't taught. A little bit of my story is I grew up seeing my parents with the mindset of I don't matter as much as my responsibility to take care of my family. Like, family priorities was over, their priority. And so they neglected themselves. Like, no matter how you cut it,
Yeah.
You can say, you can have all your reasons, but you're neglecting yourself. And again, we wasn't given these great blessings to neglect ourselves. Our spouse, our children, our family, they were given to be enjoyed. They are given to ultimately, being a woman of faith, instill the love of Christ within them, so they can have that relationship. Honey, go in the room. What are you doing? What are you doing, Junior? Okay. Here, get off the door, Malachi. Get off the door, honey. Get off the door. Junior, stop. Stop. Don't pull your brother. Come here. No.
Yeah, I can totally work with this.
Go in the room, honey. So yeah, they weren't given to us to be a burden, and so
No, they weren't.
Since a young age, I experienced my parents not taking care of themselves. And so seeing that and, not having them, tell me, this is how you take care of yourself and take care of yourself, like that, like subconsciously instilled that in me. And so I wasn't taught that. And so essentially, like, that's what's going to show up. That's what's going to play out, But it's interesting though, because as far as my mom is concerned, so I'm one of 10 siblings. But I was raised with eight of us. And, I saw her take care of us and her having that mindset of, I just got to make sure, my children are good and, I can wait. And the thing with that was I saw that her time never came. And I won't say never, cause she did do things, but it wasn't done to a point to where she wasn't stressing herself out. Like, she was stressed, she was overwhelmed, she
Well, yeah.
she had and have health issues because of that, mental as well as physical and emotional. And so I saw that though, and I always told myself, like, if I ever had children, I was going to take care of myself.
Exactly. Yep.
So yeah, like that has been lost, upon us. We haven't been taught as girls and boys how to show up and take care of ourselves. So I think that's essentially where that stemmed from.
Yeah. So can you tell us a little bit about your method of teaching others to take care of themselves? Like, are you more mindset? Are you more action? Are you an equivalent of both? You want to share a little bit about your own methods?
Yeah. So mindset and action definitely goes hand in hand. And so I'm sorry, honey, go in the room.
You're totally fine. You're totally fine. We're on your time. And if people want to watch the replay and they want to skip forward some or anything like that, they can. If they don't like that, it's fine. This is our time. This is your session. This is your life. Don't apologize for that. You are fine. This is yourself. Just be yourself. Don't worry about that. You're amazing. You got this. It's hard being a mom and running a business, trying to do lives at a time your kids are asleep. My daughter did not go to sleep till like right before we hopped on this call.
Wow.
And I just laid her down, and as we're preparing for this, I'm rushing around and stuff. It just happens. We're moms. We have to work with our kids. It's important for us to take self-care, and we still need to do our responsibilities. But it is important we also we gotta let things slide.
Yeah. Because otherwise it will drive you crazy. And I say everything that you do, whatever it is, if it's causing you your health or sanity, like, you're not doing it right. So
exactly.
I wholeheartedly believe in that. So so I talk about my mindset and taking action. And what I specifically focus on as far as self-care is not so much as what you do, is how you go about it, because we can do all the things, right? However, it's really not going to truly have a great impact on you until you can be present. So that's one aspect of self-care that I speak about, how to be present with yourself. Another aspect that I speak about is creating those boundaries. And so it's important that we recognize that we have to first set that foundation and tone for ourselves in order for others to know how to treat us and how to show up for us. When a lot of people think about boundaries, they think about how others treat you, but how do you treat you? What is the standard that you're setting?
Yeah, I agree with that. That is very good and very true. We have to draw boundaries with our own selves. We can't just be doing it for others and placing boundaries for others. We have to do it for ourselves, make sure we don't go over our own lines.
Exactly.
I like that a whole lot.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is something like everything that I share is the things that I have been learning from experience. And this has been 4 years in a making now that I am really truly coming into showing up for me. This all started about 4 years ago when this little one came into the world. And I woke up one morning and I was just like, who are you? You know, this is not the life that you envision for yourself. And that was because I found myself not doing those things that made me happy, you know. Bluetooth disconnected. And because of that, I was feeling stagnant, you know. I was feeling like I lost my identity, you know.
Yeah.
And especially having boys.
No.
I was never the girly girl, you know, type, so to speak. However, you know, I still did things that made me feel, you know, sexy and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But a part of me waking up, I was just like, wow, like I'm not doing certain things anymore, you know? And of course, you know, having boys and, you know, them being so rough and, you know, it was like I reverted back to childhood because I was considered a tomboy, you know, with all the brothers that I had. And
Yeah.
it was, you know, rough housing and my grandma would, you know, always tell me, get out that dirt, girls don't play in dirt and nothing. So,
Yep. That was me. I was always up in a tree.
Yeah.
Always. Nonstop. I was always up in a tree. I would be the one to get my siblings down when they got stuck. Me and my brother would go and climb trees a lot. I have a younger brother and I have two sisters. My sisters love dolls. Me and my brother went playing in dirt and mud and everything else. But yeah. One thing you also said was the identity and losing identities. And I feel like that's something I haven't actually experienced that. I lost complete identity of myself after I had my firstborn Tristan and stuff. And I really lost who I was for a while. Then, like you said, it was after I had summer that it was like, okay, well, I'm not even who I am. But that's another thing too, is I can't imagine what it would be like for another mom who's always been there and not taking care of herself as much as she should. And then when her kids are grown up and they're out of the place, not knowing who she is.
Yes.
Right. And I'm like, that would be a lot harder. We caught it a bit earlier, but what would we do if we didn't?
Listen, yeah, and I thank God because, you know, he gave me the mind, you know, to be better and to do better for myself, because I need to take care of myself, but then, you know, for them as well, because again, I am showing them, you know, what it takes and how to show up for themselves, you know. And especially the social the societal standards that's been placed on men as far as being the providers, you know, and seeing my father, you know, work like crazy. Like this man, he stayed providing for us. However, again, like it was at the detriment of his health and wellness. My father passed at 47 years old. So yeah. Very young. Very young.
Yeah.
So like that was a wake-up call for me. So, you know, I have been taking, you know, every experience and applying it, and it works. One of the things, talking about the boundaries, there's a book, Set Boundaries, Find Peace by Nidra.
Okay.
And this is amazing. Amazing, because what it showed me was, again, like, people aren't mind readers, and normally people treat you how they want to be treated. And sometimes they just treat you like crap because, sometimes people are horrible.
Yeah, sadly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, when you can know and understand that you first need to set the foundation, like that's what that book did for me. Like, okay, I need to articulate and verbalize audibly, what my needs are, what my standards are, what my morals are, how I want to be treated, to myself. So then the others can see, okay, this is how I need to show up.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, guys. Give me a quick second. Hold on a second.
No problem. Hey, April and Sugar. How are y'all doing? So you guys, thank you, April, for commenting and putting in some inputs and stuff. We do see your comments over here. Some we're just kind of getting to know Angel a little bit. If you guys have any questions, feel free to put them in the comments and we will get to your questions. But me and April are monitoring the what you guys are seeing over here as well. So
Awesome. Yeah, you guys, if you have any questions at all, please drop them in the comments and I will do my best to answer them for you. So, so definitely mindset and taking action. So, I created a easy system to help you to implement creating those boundaries, being present with yourself. And the other thing is being intentional, right? Because we can say all day, oh, this is what I want to do for myself, and we have, we have all these thoughts about how we want to show up for ourselves and what we want to do to take care of ourselves, but we never do it. We never take action because we are not intentional about doing that, right? And we are not being mindful and thoughtful of ourselves. And so all these things I have put into a very simple 3-step process. And I say that, you want to simplify self-care, you go to the spa. And so SPA is my 3-step method, which represents keeping it simple, keeping it practical, and having some accountability. And so
ooh, I like the accountability. I love accountability stuff. I mean, if you haven't noticed in the group, I have goals and then I have an accountability at the end of the week. So I love accountability. I love reaching for goals. And the only way you can reach them is if you're intentional, like you say. So I love it.
exactly.
But you have to keep it simple, and that's where I don't do very well.
Yeah, it's a journey. It's a process. It is, because we do have so much going on in our minds, right? It's like it's so much to do. However, at the end of the day, we really got to take it, how do they say, one step at a time.
Yes, exactly. Exactly, because that's all you can do. You cannot take 2 steps at a time. You can't take 3. You have to do 1 step at a time. So
That's right.
That's all you can do. We only have 2 legs.
That's right. Listen, you gotta really break it down to the point to where it's like, oh, okay, because we well, let me just speak for myself. I overthink things so much.
Yes.
And and it's like, Angel, what are you doing? You are doing way too much. It's not this
Mhm.
complicated. It's not.
Yes, exactly. We can think of every step to a process. We can think about stuff. We just have to kind of watch out how much we think. What
Yeah.
are some kind of things you do to help think less in a way? What are some things you do to help yourself to not overthink?
So that's a really good question. It's more of a thought process that I take myself through. Um,
Okay.
so like I know a lot of people talk about like brain dumping and writing your thoughts out and journaling and stuff like that. And so that's not something that helps me necessarily. Like I work through stuff in my mind
Yeah.
more than I do like writing it down. I do it, but it's not that thing that like, oh, this is my thing that works for me. You know?
Yeah, you and me are one and the same on this one. I've actually gotten to the point I have to map things out more because I have too
Yeah,
much. I have too much on my mind. I have too many avenues I want to do, and so I have to map it out a little bit more. So that's when I write it down on paper. The most
yeah.
part, though, I'm just like, no, we have to think it through. Writing it down is just a waste of time. It's not going to help me at all. So it's mapping out all my head. So I'm like, ah, it
You get
hurts all the
me.
time. It's nonstop.
Yeah, like I literally just like got to the point to where I tell myself like, okay, what is it that I want to work on right now? And that's the
Yeah.
thing that I focus on, you know? And I have started to write down, like once I narrow down like what I want to focus on, I do write down those steps. So like those checkpoints.
Mhm.
So like right now, so like I have a to-do list. you
Yeah.
know, I have those checkpoints, once I figured out, what I want to focus on, and I have, okay, like, so what's the first thing I need to do for this second thing? So I have that. Um, um, so we kind of skipping all over the place right now, but as far as
Yeah.
accountability, so I don't, lose my thought process. I got an accountability coach this year,
Okay.
and it has been the most like,
Whoa, 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 whoa. What's an accountability coach? Is it an
okay,
actual person? Is it a workbook? What is it for you?
so it's an actual person.
Okay. Because you said it has work. I was like, oh, okay, so I'm missing something.
Got you.
I'm
No,
sorry.
yeah,
It's like 9:30 here.
no worries. No, yeah, yeah. Thank you for the clarification. So it's an actual person. Um, Tafanya Richardson. She is thebomb.com. She is a productivity and accountability coach. And July, she has me doing this 30-day challenge in which I write down my goals daily. So this is day one. So I'm on day 9. Today is day 9. So I have to do I have to do today's. So I have my goals written out. Wait, there we go. And then on the
Okay.
back of this index card, I have a scripture. Um,
Ooh.
yeah. So every day, and then I have, when I want to get it done by, so August 31st. So every day, I write down my goals. I have the scripture that I say to encourage me to build my faith, and to just keep me focused, because as they say, out of sight, out of mind, right? And so this is one tool that you can use to help you stay accountable to yourself, because it's easy with so much going on in our heads, it's easy to forget and lose sight, of things. And so doing this actually has been helpful to, stay focused. So I would say in that sense, like as far as writing it down, that's been very helpful. Like,
Yeah.
so yeah, the SPY method, keeping it simple, keeping it practical, and have accountability. So really quick, going back to accountability. So you have that self-accountability where you're writing things down, you're, making those notes, setting those alarms, setting those reminders for yourself, and then getting that other accountability support from other people in other communities. And so, making sure that you find that community, find that person, get you an accountability coach, get you, other tools that you can use to help you, to encourage you, to motivate you, and to give you that extra push,
Yeah.
for you to reach your goals. And so keeping it simple, again, is about focusing on one thing at a time. And so I say, focus on one thing, 1 hour, 1 day, 1 week at a time. And and the point is to start somewhere, and so I have this, SPY method for people to see how simple it is for you to not, overthink and be stressed out about, like, the last thing you need to be stressed out about is taking care of yourself.
Yes, I agree. That is very true. We shouldn't be stressing out about taking care of ourselves. We should not. I get
Right?
that way though. We do get that way. I get
Yep.
that way, especially. I'm like, okay, well, I have all this stuff I have to do tonight, and then I haven't taken a shower in 3 days.
Yeah.
And then I'm
Yeah.
like, all right, so I have to at
What's going
least
on?
get 20 minutes.
Yeah.
I mean, how hard is that? But we get to the point we do feel bad about that, and we stress out about our own self-care, and I don't like that.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, that's not good.
I get it. Listen.
Don't worry, everyone. I did not take a shower today. I took a shower yesterday though, and I don't have to take a shower every day, so we're good there. But in 2 days, you guys better tell me something. So
You're so funny. You're so funny. I mean, while we're on the topic, technically, you really don't. I mean, it is summer, so I personally can't really get away with that. But listen, like technically, it's, for me at least, because I have so uh really like dry skin. It's said that you shouldn't take a shower often, because it's ridding your body of its natural oils that's used to condition your skin, and so I mean, if you want to
yeah, exactly.
it is beneficial to not take a shower every day, as long as you're obviously
Yeah.
washing your private parts, like that's all that matters, like just
Yes.
you know
Exactly. My biggest problem is my hair.
oh,
I don't
okay.
have a problem much with my skin so much. My hair though gets so greasy. And then
Okay.
after a few days, it's like you can really tell it's bad. It really starts getting bad after the second day. If I don't take a shower, it gets really bad.
Okay.
But yes, I do have that problem. But yeah, you are not supposed to be taking a shower every single day.
Yeah.
If you take one, it actually worsens everything up. So dry skin included in everything, it just isn't good. So
Yeah.
But yeah, get back to me in a few days.
I'll be checking up on y'all.
No.
But you know,
And
that's
it's
how
just
it
weird for
goes.
me to even say that on a live, but hey, we're totally free here. We're ourselves. We're not anyone else. We're being ourselves. So yes.
Exactly. But that's real though, because I I I have heard many people say, taking care of the basic things like hygiene isn't self-care. And I'm like, well, what is it? Is that not taking care of yourself? Like what do you mean? That's not self-care. And the thing was, it came specifically at a time in which Malachi was like itty bitty, right? Between that 1 to 6 month stage. And I was up day in and day out nursing and changing diapers and burping and soothing him. And so I remember going days without taking a shower, easy.
Mm-hmm.
And, for me to hear that, it was just like, okay, yeah, that's not something to say to a mom who is like doing her best.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly. We can't let that happen though. I mean, we're just doing the best we can.
yeah, exactly.
So
And we need to give ourselves grace and learn to go through different phases, learn to go through these different processes, and you take it one step, one day at a time. And that's literally how I got through. So yeah, spa. So going into practical, right? And so keeping it practical looks like, again, just not overwhelming yourself with, but I need to do this and that, because self-care, there's different aspects of self-care, right? There's your physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, financial, environmental, just all these different aspects of self-care, which you should be paying attention to, right? However, like, you need to go in the room with your brothers. Go in the room with your brothers. You need to be able to hone in on, like, what is it that you need now, keeping it simple, but then saying, okay, once you know exactly what area you want to focus on, don't try to overwhelm yourself by doing too much, and, show up in a manner that is comfortable for you. And so and that's realistic too, because for me, when I had that wake up call 4 years ago, I was just like, man, I need to be around other women. And
yes.
so girls, ladies night and girls time, like, that became like my thing. And it really wasn't, feasible for me to have, girls hang out on a weekly basis, but we sure did on a monthly basis. And so I was like, you know what? Okay. So I'm going to set out time for us to have our girls' time once a month. We planned it all out, and that was that. And that came to be that thing that I knew. There you go. That I needed, because I tell you, after that night, it was just like I was good for the whole month. I was like, I am good. My cup has been filled. I am full. I am ready to go. And so again, just finding that thing, and that was, my social wellness, because that was something that I lost sight of. I was just me being a stay-at-home mom. So we moved to Illinois. I was in Minnesota for a while. So we moved to Illinois, and I didn't have any friends there. So, just me and my children. And well, my sister is here too, but I really didn't have those girlfriends, and that was something that I missed, from being back in Minnesota. So um having that, for myself, and I still do it to this day, 4 years later, like, and then it only, builds from there, but it's just doing one thing at a time, and it has made a tremendous difference, because it's like I'm feeling like myself again, I'm feeling fulfilled, I am a whole woman outside of my children,
Yes,
with
and
my
we totally are. We are our own individual persons. We're not just a mom. We're all someone else on top of that.
yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I
And we're
need you to
doing
go.
amazing. You're doing an amazing job. You really are. I love what you do. You're doing absolutely amazing. You are a total queen. You are rocking it.
Oh, thank you so much, Audrey. You too.
Of course, you're really great.
You
So you
too.
want to share a little bit about this new launch you did? I see you created a beta test. You kind of want to explain about what that is?
Yeah, yeah. Give me a quick second.
No problem. Yes, Denise, Hobby Lobby. Hobby Lobby is a place you can totally lose time in. I've lost hours and hours and hours. My boyfriend does not like going to Hobby Lobby with me.
It's Michael's for me. It's Michael's.
Michael's is really good. I have lost several hours in there too. I don't know which one I've lost more
That's
time in.
Working on a new project right now.
Ooh,
These
what you
are
making?
hand warmers for for autumn, winter.
Ooh.
And then it's
Do
going
you
to
have an
come with
Etsy
a
shop?
headband. I don't. People keep telling me I should do Etsy, but
Do it and let me know, because I need hand warmers. I have clammy palms. My hands are always freezing cold.
Okay.
So I love hand warmers and stuff like that, because I also hate gloves because
Yeah.
I can't feel anything. So like everything like gets mingled up. I can't do anything. So I love the hand warmers with the open fingertips where I can do stuff, because I can type better. I can do things. I used to make jewelry, so I could latch things better. I can bead and stuff like that. That's one thing I used to do. But yeah.
Well, you have
And
a set coming your way.
Denise loves hand warmers too. She just said so. You got like 2 people who would probably buy from you.
Yeah, yes, I love them. Yes, yes, yes. What was we saying?
Yes.
I lost it.
Can you tell us a little bit about your guide?
Oh,
your
yes.
beta test. I
Yes,
have the link. I have the link up in the description for anyone that is interested. In her guide, I'll let Angel to explain.
Yeah, so it is my first ever guide, create a self-care regimen. And because it's my first ever, I am launching it as a beta, because I want to make sure that you all get everything that you need. And so it's actually going to be a workshop where I walk you through the SPA method and how to create your self-care regimen. So how to keep it simple. So we're going to find out and dig deep. What is that most pressing self-care desire you want to fulfill for yourself, right? We're going to lay it all out on paper. And once we have that together, you're going to also receive 1 month of accountability support. And on top of that, as a bonus, I'm also going to offer a one-on-one session with that. And so this beta really truly is going to take you from thought to putting it down in stone, and giving you the accountability, the encouragement, inspiration, and that push, that nudge you need to make sure that you achieve your goals. I know that I realized for me, that's that's the piece that I was missing for myself, that accountability piece. And so I was like, you know what? I really truly want to see us win, as they say. I really truly want to see us um showing up for ourselves and taking care of ourselves, um because we deserve to live a life again where we can enjoy, being present, because we are so burdened by our responsibilities that it's just like we're working off fumes, and we are like, what is it called, how they say, um it's like very mechanical, and um going with the motion. You know what I'm trying to say? I forget
Yeah,
the
I can't
name
think of the
for it.
exact word for that, but I know what you mean. Going with emotions, just we're kind of just flowing with
Yeah,
life, really. It's
yeah,
just
going through
that's
the
what I would
motions.
explain. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's it.
yeah.
That's it.
And so it's like we're just flying by and really not taking in what this life has to offer us, the beauty that it has to offer us, and what I think about is how, my children are getting older each and every day. And one thing I think of is like, I wish I would have took more pictures, because like I purposefully think like, okay, I'm going to stare at you and just try to picture you as you are right now, because I don't want to forget. And of course, like a month later,
Yeah.
it's just like, what was that one moment I tried to remember? And so it's like we miss out on so much because we're not taking care of ourselves, and we're just, doing. And something that I want to point out is that, a lot of us women, we think that doing for our, like, there's a prerequisite in order to take care of ourselves,
Yeah.
especially as moms.
Yes, I agree. There's always something before we take care of ourselves. It doesn't
Yeah,
end.
it
We'd say, "Well, this one more thing, we're just gonna wash the dishes," and then that washing dishes turns to, "Oh, I see this," and then we go to hop onto that. Then, "Oh my, it's dinner time," so we start doing that, and we need to stop with the prerequisites.
and then the day is done, right? And
Yes, exactly. And then it's like, what did we do for ourselves? Why am I so burnt out and why am I so tired? So,
yes, exactly. And so I say, it's important to prioritize us first, unapologetic.
yeah.
Like there's no, sorries, there is no, like we mom guilt is real. And
Totally.
even though it's real, we have to recognize that it is an emotion that we have to face. And the thing about it is, I say you can have your mom guilt, but don't let it control how you show up for yourself. you know,
Yeah.
because that's just a part of it. Like we are built, like that's how God created us. Like we are built to be that nurturer, their caregiver. And so, you know, we we have to come to a point to where it's just like, yes, however, we have to give it to ourselves too
Hmm.
first.
Yeah. We don't take care of ourselves, no one else will, and then we're not going to be able to perform as our nurturer ability nearly as well as we should. I feel myself like get crabbier, I get more depressed if I don't take care of myself. And when I do, I actually take it a little bit more out on my kids or
Yeah.
people around me,
Hmm.
and it affects everything. And everyone can tell when I'm not taking care of myself
Yeah.
because I do get worse.
Yeah.
When I take care of myself, I'm a lot happier. I'm crazier, I'm more fun and everything like that. But if I don't, it's like almost the complete opposite. If we don't take care of ourselves, we're not going to be able to show up for other people. So
Exactly. And it really is that simple, you know. But what I would say to that as well is that there is support out there,
mhm,
you know. Just reach out and decide you are deserving, that you
mhm,
are worthy, you you are precious in the eyes of God. You know, you are valuable, you know. You are the pearl of great price, you know. Jesus died for you. So you matter, and it's important that you take care of you. You know, like that's
exactly.
as simple as it is. And and so a part of what I also do is, you know, in encouraging us, you know, I speak about what I call speak light, speak life, and speak love over you. Um, because we aren't being thoughtful of ourselves, you know,
Mhm,
because of all the different things that's on our plate. And so I in my community, I talk about creating 7 minutes of intention every morning. And in those 7 minutes, you're praying to God um about whatever it is that's on your heart. And then you're having an attitude of gratitude. And so you're saying what you're grateful for. Um, because we are more likely to show up for ourselves when we can acknowledge, hey, you know, I'm grateful I did this for myself. You know, it's so
mhm.
easy to focus on what you didn't do for yourself and what didn't go right, and you know, and all
Yeah.
all
Yes,
these things,
I will. Yeah, for sure.
you know, but
Yeah.
when you can flip the script and you can acknowledge, huh, you know, I did accomplish this, you know, and I can do that, and I did that, you know, you're more likely to show up for yourself. And then the other thing that I do is affirmations. And to be like totally honest, when I first started learning about affirmations, I was like, what is this woo woo hoodoo voodoo? What is
Oh
this?
my word. I love affirmations. I've done them literally forever. I can totally get that what you're saying is like, it's weird. I've never gotten over the fact it is so weird no matter how many times I've done looking myself in the mirror and saying, I'm beautiful.
Yes,
I'm
yes.
like, it's weird every single time. It's like I believe it, but it's weird having it heard out loud.
And that's,
That's
yeah.
where I think
Mhm.
people quit so quickly and need the accountability and need the push because that is something that is helpful, but it is weird and it is awkward saying it out loud about stuff that you want to believe. You're just like,
Yeah,
is someone listening to me doing this? And
yeah.
stuff, and we kind of get ashamed. I'm like,
Yeah, but that's how, you know, that's how we create that belief. You know,
mhm,
the belief, what does the word says? It says faith comes by hearing. And so we in order to know and believe that we are beautiful, we must tell it to ourselves. Like we
yeah,
like where do we
yep,
expect it to come from if You
Yeah,
know,
and
like,
it's not, don't just think it. Don't just whisper it. You actually have to say it out loud. That
mhm,
is where it gets hard. It's easier to whisper it. It's easier to just sing it in your head over and over and over again. But it's actually more difficult, but it has better effect if you say it out loud.
yeah, yep, yeah. I actually, so it's interesting because I actually created, um, so my accountability coach. So she has a teenage daughter, and she was telling me about, teenage girl woes, right? And having got to a point that I um was just so like gung ho about affirmations, I was like, you know what? I think I got the perfect thing for her. And so I actually like then and there, right there on the spot, like I created an affirmation journal for her daughter. Um, and that's how I am. Like I kind of just I
I
get
like the
things.
affirmation journal. I like that. That's the first I've heard of that. I've done like affirmation lists. My cousins all struggled with being self-confident and stuff, and
Yeah,
I ended up making affirmation lists of stuff that I was already doing, and then I gave it to them. But I
yeah.
like the affirmation journal. Do you want to go into a little bit more about kind of what you do with that? I like the sound of it. Now I need to know fully what you do with it. Is
You
it
know,
like you get to write down I am and then you write down things every single day?
okay, so this
Yes.
was specifically catered to her because of, the things that she told me that she was going through. But in essence, let me pull it up. Hold on a second.
Yeah, no
But
problem.
in essence, what I do, um, I created specific affirmations that she told. So I created specific affirmations for the week, right? And then within that week, every day I had a theme. So one day could be speak it, one day could be write it, one day could be share it, and so on and so forth. Um, so like that's the uh I guess the process of how I had it written out.
That's really
Yeah,
cool. I
thank
like that a
you.
ton. That's really, really cool. Very creative.
Thank you. Like and so when I had sent it to her and I was like, just tell me what you think. And she was like, girl, you need to sell this.
Yeah, really.
And so I was just like, okay, I'll take that into consideration. But because it was, personalized, I was like, okay, I have to figure out like how to make it more general, like,
Yeah,
and I haven't like figured that out yet. So maybe I'll just like start selling them like personalized, like,
you
maybe.
should. You should. You totally should. Another thing you could do is keep the weekly stuff, but you can make it fill in the blanks where they have to kind of
Okay.
fill it in, but then have like a specific day, like Monday, you say write it down, Tuesday, say it out loud, Wednesday, do something that incorporates it or you believe it, and then just continue with whatever you would do for the rest of the week. And then maybe switch it up for each week and make it a monthly journal. I
I
like
like
workbooks.
that.
I love them.
I like that.
I've
Okay.
always loved workbooks since I was a little person, little activity
Yeah.
books, coloring books and stuff. I would finish the games first. I'd do any fill in the blanks and stuff like that. I'm just like, I love journals,
Yeah.
workbooks, that kind of stuff.
Cool. Yeah. So yeah, that was the affirmation journal. So that's something that's like still in the works. However, I do have 31-day affirmation list. So if you guys want that, just say affirmation list, and I can get that sent over to you guys. But it's called I am statements. So so in case you might have
Wait,
been confused.
that's close enough to affirmations. Why is it not letting me text?
Oh no.
It's not letting me text. I will text it in later. It's not
Okay.
letting me for some reason. Did this last night to me as well. I was watching a live and just suddenly it just stopped working with me. Comment sections. I'm like, I can't text anything. So
Oh,
it is what it is. It will make it.
yeah.
It'll come back after it's done. So
Yeah, so if you are at that place to where you are like, okay, I am ready to start taking care of me, to start prioritizing me, definitely check out the guide Create Your Self-Care Regimen. Again, it's going to be hosted in a workshop form, and it's happening actually this upcoming Sunday, you guys. So you want to get in until before it closes. So this workshop is going to take you through, again, figuring out what that self-care activity is that you want to focus on, getting it scheduled out, with that 1 month of support to where we're actually going to have group meetings, and then you're going to have that bonus one-on-one accountability session with me where you can pick my brain, vent, ask me questions, whatever your heart's desire. But this program was created again
just
to
no yelling
truly.
at her. Don't yell at her. I always say that. I'm like, people can vent at me and stuff. Just don't yell at me. Don't
Listen,
bring me into it. You can vent at me. You can let me know, but don't yell at me. So don't
yeah.
yell at her. You guys can vent with her, but don't yell at her.
Thank you, Audrey.
Hey, we're friends, and if someone does, let me know. I'm
I
a
will.
redhead. I'm a redhead. I got a temper.
I will let them know Audrey got my back.
I do.
Yeah, you guys. So
Yeah,
it'll be
as much as I have, I will get up there and start getting up there and then go, okay. Walk away.
Oh my goodness.
No,
Yes.
I'm a little bit more backbone than that, but still.
Yeah. So it'll truly been an absolute pleasure to serve you all, and definitely feel free to join my Facebook community, Self Care Club for Working Women of Faith, where I support you in all of your self care needs, and you can share your wins, struggles, concerns, ask your questions, and of course, be celebrated because you are taking strides for yourself, and there is no big or small in my book. Every step that you take is a step in the right direction. I want to leave off with this. And this just goes back to everything that you do, you take it one step at a time. And over time, you will start to see a change. You will start to see a difference, right? And so this is a book by Mary A. Cassian, The Right Kind of Strong. And she is a woman of faith, and she talks about where our strength comes from, and it's not from us, and it is from God, and what it truly means to be strong, and how what society puts on us women as what being strong looks like is from the pits of hell, like as they say. Like it's nothing strong about that. So let me find this passage really quick. One of my favorite passages in this book. Okay. Imagine what it would be like to be a genuinely strong woman. I'm not talking about the brash, worldly kind of strength that relies on your own capacities. The kind of strength that's brittle and fragile and shatters when tested. No. But a soft, quiet, confident strength that relies on the power of the Holy Spirit. The kind that makes you bold to stand for truth and brave to navigate through any kind of storm. These surprisingly simple habits offer you more than girl power ever could. You only need to take a series of tiny steps consistently over time to strengthen your spiritual core radically. Just think, you could become bolder, braver, and stronger than ever before. And best of all, it will be the right kind of strong. So obviously, like, she talks about different ways to, combat the things that we tell ourselves, like, I gotta do all this by myself, I gotta be strong, I can't cry, I can't break down, and all that. I gotta be like, so she goes and break that down to say, no, this is what you need instead. And so powerful
Yes.
book, Mary A. Cassian, The Right Kind of Strong. You guys, like, oh my goodness, like, we need to start building up an arsenal of things that's going to keep us, that's going to remind us, that's going to strengthen us to get through this thing. Because life is going to happen, however, we are to have life and have it more abundantly, and to thrive and to enjoy life, and finding that community, speaking life, light, and love over yourself, creating those boundaries, and just loving on yourself. Like, that's that's how you're going to get through. That's how you're going to get through. So.
Yeah, I love that. I love that passage. I will have to look into getting that book. It sounds really, really good, and everything, because we do have that problem. We all want to be like brash and brazen, and I hate like how everyone thinks that being a mom boss, you're all rude, you're capital B all the time and stuff. We're not. We're not. We don't have to be that way. That is the fake kind of strong, because it's really not strong at all. You're just kind of hiding yourself. You put up a wall and you're just like, that wall will crumble down eventually and stuff. And then what'll be left, what'll be actually shown and stuff.
Wow.
So
yes.
We don't need that. We don't need that. We're better than that. We are kind. We are strong still. We are just not rude. There's difference between being rude and being kind and strong.
Right.
It's better to be happy too. I love being happy. I don't like being crabby.
Exactly. We can be firm and loving at the same time.
Exactly.
It's
Yep,
so
for sure.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, it has been about an hour and 10 minutes. Does anyone have any questions real quick?
Wow, we have been going. Our job is 24/7. Yes, it has.
I forgot to record this. I'm going to have to figure out how to get this off of here so I can get you the video. I forgot. I don't know. I'm not used to Zoom still yet. I keep forgetting to record stuff. So, yes.
No worries. Well, let me see. Hi, Denise. Who else is here?
Sugar.
Sugar. Hey, girl.
Yeah.
Let's
Okay,
see.
my
April.
web decided to just stop, so I don't know if we're live or not now.
Oh. Well, in the group, wait.
Oh, we
Oh,
should be.
wait a minute. Let me refresh the page. Technology, I tell you. But we got
No,
this.
we got this. We got this. We'll pull up my Chrome and find out.
Okay, so
She's
we're still live in the
still
group.
okay. Well, let's give everyone time to see if they have any questions as we're trying to fiddle with technology. I hate it when that happens. My stuff just completely stopped. It's like, hey, you need to reload this page. I'm like, I was just on it. Everything was fine.
Right?
Technology. Technology,
Yeah.
people. Welcome to the world of a virtual assistant. If nothing works, you're just like, you will learn to deal with it and you pray for the best.
Yes,
Literally.
exactly.
Yep, you just literally pray and just pray that everything works, goes smoothly and doesn't have any technology issues. So we got this. We got this. So yeah. Anything else you want to add in, Angel, or
Yeah.
we're done?
Yeah. So I will leave you beautiful, precious souls, how I always do, and that is to let you know, do something for yourself each and every day that makes you smile, laugh, happy, and give you those goosebumps, because health is life and life is love. And you deserve to take care of you and to prioritize you unapologetic. God loves you and I love you. You know where to reach me if you have any questions or concerns. I'm here for you. Don't be a stranger.
Yes, exactly. Thank you so much for coming on here, Angel. It's been a pleasure having you here. And I appreciate everything you do in the group. I appreciate you going in each post and commenting and lifting other ladies and gentlemen. We have a few men in the group. Not many,
Uh-huh.
we have a few though, and they're quiet. But I know that if they were commenting and stuff, you would be encouraging them as well. So I
Absolutely.
really appreciate you. For anyone else, she was talking about community earlier with other women. We are hosting our ladies chat this Friday evening, or this Friday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Don't miss it. It is a lot of fun. You will get community. You'll get a chat with other ladies. We'll talk about our businesses. This is a hangout. We'll talk about our businesses. We'll give tips to each other and just we'll have fun. It's always a lot of fun. This will be the third time I have hosted these calls. This is the first time with the group itself. So it's going to just be a lot of fun. We already have about 14 ladies coming in. More coming after I message everyone. I have a whole lot of other people I need to message. I have not messaged yet. So we have a lot of people that's going to be there. Roughly at least 14. We'll say 10 because people normally don't show up too. But we have
Yeah.
people showing up. It is going to be a lot of fun. And we build community. We get to know each other and we help support each other. So if you want that, let me know and I will send you the link. And yeah, other than that, let Angel know anything about self-care. She's got it. She's the queen. So, yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
So thank you again, Angel,
thank
for coming
you.
on. I'm about to end this. So yeah.
Take care,
Right.
everyone.
Bye.
Bye.